grade 10 students. In this session, we are going to start number 2 named polynomials. So let's begin. So today we will talk about polynomials, about its key concepts. So in this session, we are going to discuss about some of the definitions and terms like variable, degree, constants, which you all are already aware. Then what are the different types of polynomials like linear polynomial, quadratic polynomial, and cubic polynomial. Then what are the zeros of a polynomial? What is the geometric meaning of zeros? And what is the relationship between zeros and coefficients? Okay. Now if I talk about that, what is a polynomial? Polynomial है क्या? So it's an expression which is made up of variables and coefficients. कोई भी expression जो variables और coefficients से मिलके बना हुआ है उसको हम कहते हैं polynomial. Like an example over here, 3x square plus 5x minus 7. So यहाँ अगर हम देखें, what is the variable over here? The variable over here is x. And the coefficients क्या होते हैं? The numbers which are present before the variables. ये दोनों क्या हैं? ये coefficients. So coefficient of x square is equal to 3 and the coefficient of x is equal to 5 and the value which is constant, which will remain constant, which is not going to change, is the 7. So 7 क्या है यहाँ? 7 is a constant. So any expression which is made up of variables and coefficients along with the constant is known as what? It's a polynomial. Then what is a degree? Degree is the highest power of a variable. Now let's look at different types of polynomials. ये सब पहले कर चुके हैं आप लोग. Just I'm revising. Linear polynomial, quadratic polynomial, cubic polynomial, right? These are the different kinds of polynomials. So linear polynomial है जो उसका जो standard form है वो क्या होता है? ax plus b. Like x here, what is a? A is 2 and b is 7 over here. So ax plus b, this is the standard form for linear polynomial, and the degree of the linear polynomial will always be 1. X की power हमेशा linear polynomial के केस में क्या होगी? 1. Whereas if you see the quadratic polynomial, जो इस पूरे चैप्टर में ज्यादा हम quadratic polynomial के बारे में ही पढ़ेंगे. The standard form of quadratic polynomial is ax square plus bx plus c, and the degree of quadratic polynomial will always be 2. Third kind of polynomial is a cubic polynomial, where the degree of the polynomial is 3. यहाँ देखो अगर तो x की highest power क्या है यहाँ? x raised to the power 3. So that is why it's a cubic polynomial. Constant की degree हमेशा क्या होती है? 0. So these 3-4 things you need to remember. Degree of constant will be 0. The degree of quadratic polynomial will always be 2, and the degree of cubic polynomial will always be 3. You have to identify the degree and the type of polynomial for each case. The first part, 4x cube minus 2x. So यहाँ x की highest power क्या है? 3. So the polynomial type of polynomial is cubic. Qx is equal to 7. The value is constant, so the degree will be 0. In the third case, x square plus 1. So यहाँ highest power क्या है? 2 है. x की power 2 अगर होगी तो हमारा polynomial कौन सा हो जाएगा? Quadratic polynomial. In the fourth one, you have 5x minus 3 by 2. Here the power of x is 1 and the polynomial is a linear polynomial and the degree is 1. What is zero of polynomial? The number, any real number which when substituted in the polynomial makes its value equal to 0. And the zero is always a real number. वो क्योंकि रैशनल भी हो सकता है, irrational भी हो सकता है. अब यहाँ अगर अपन एक एग्जांपल देखें, x square minus 5x plus 6. Now you need to find the zeros of this polynomial. So हम इसमें एक एक करके 1, 2, 3 वैल्यू सब्स्टिट्यूट करके देख सकते हैं, या -1, -2, -3 सब्स्टिट्यूट करके देखेंगे. और जिस भी वैल्यू के लिए ये पूरा एक्सप्रेशन 0 हो जाएगा, that will be the zero of this polynomial. So the first value calculated is 2. x की वैल्यू जब हम 2 रखेंगे इसके अंदर, so 2 square minus 5 into 2 plus 6 को जब फर्दर सॉल्व करेंगे तो हमें क्या मिल जाएगा? 0. So that is why 1 0 is 2 and another 0 is 3. Another 0, 3, this value 3 when you put, again you will get a 0. So x की value 2 and x की value 3. These are the two zeros. Graphical representation of quadratic equations. So the graph which is obtained in case of quadratic equation is parabola. और इसमें जो क्वेश्चंस आते हैं बोर्ड में, you have to analyze the graph and you have to tell that how many zeros are there. So we know this that there are two coordinates. One is x dash, y and y dash, right? So on this x-axis, how many times my graph is cutting cutting or intersecting and how many times my graph is touching. So that will be always taken as 1 point. अब इस केस नंबर 1 में अगर हम देखें तो मेरा ग्राफ 2 पॉइंट्स पे कट कर रहा है, एक यहाँ और यहाँ. सो इसके नंबर ऑफ जीरोस कितने हो गए? 2 जीरोस. और अगर आपसे पूछा जाए कि मत बताओ कौन कौन से जीरोस है, सो यू कैन अकॉर्डिंग टू द ग्राफ यू कैन सी दीज वैल्यूज. सपोज अगर इस ग्राफ में ये यहाँ 1 है एंड दिस इज 2, so the value of one zero will be 2 and the value of another zero will be -2. So इसमें दो zeros की value क्या निकल के आ जाएगी? 2 and -2. In this case, the graph is cutting x-axis at 3 different points. एक यहाँ, यहाँ और यहाँ. So therefore, how many zeros are there? There are 3 zeros. In this graph, you see that the graph is cutting again at 2 different points. So यहाँ क्या हो गया? 2 zeros. This is 1 point and this is another point. And here the graph is not cutting at all, so there means no zeros. This means no zeros will be there. So such kind of questions come. And you should be clear about that if my graph is cutting or intercepting or just touching it at a point, that will be considered as 1 zero. Next video we are going to start with exercise 2.1. Please like, share and subscribe.